his astral meteors connecting against the right members as Team Zebra easily brings down this Lord. But Team Lion, they really want to take down an inhibitor turret. Martisi going right after the backline, but look at Hesu once again with the final slash with the Innocent going in with that blazing duet hard guard combination. Two members of Team Zebra will fall down in exchange for M's, and now they still have 1 minion creep on the mid lane. Going right after the bottom lane right now. Scholar on the retreat, but Innocent says no. Velka's desperate attempt with that bravest fighter to slow down the push, but right now there is a middle lane minions and Innocent going for the tower lock, and Team Lion roars as they take game number 1.
That has been a spectacular performance coming in from Team Lion. They just literally showed us how they've established their run in the past. They've been together. I have no words. I think they should no longer give Hesu that Arlot.
No, Brigida, nature took its course. We all know the lion, one of the predators that are on top of the food chain, and Zebra being really a prey, and they showed why Team Lion should never be discounted. They're an aggressive team led by, of course, their team captain Hesu with a phenomenal performance despite, as you mentioned, the nerf on Arlot. We didn't feel the nerf. Did you feel the nerf?
I already couldn't feel it in the beginning. What more when we've seen that even his dauntless strike was already enough to finish off the lives of those he actually went in for the engage. The vengeance, the multiple dashes, the amount of damage, the sustain accompanied by the tenacity emblem was too much to handle. I think that Team Zebra, they were also a little too late in picking up the Dominance Eyes or the anti-heal, the counter to that specific hero in that instance. Hesu was already able to do so much. Whenever his teammates came to follow, they only needed to do so little just to finish off whatever he started.
And I actually got confused because we all know Mark DC was a jungler of Team Zebra with Lancelot. But for some reason, Hesu, I thought Hesu was playing Lancelot because of the Only Vengeance, Only Dashes against Team Zebra. So really, Hesu displaying professionalism, displaying why he deserves to be team captain and might be able to go to Busan to represent the Philippines. What do you think?
Now we are actually seeing that there might just be some truth to what we were talking about earlier, that it's not just the dance that they've been preparing for, it's not just the entrance that they've actually prepared for. I don't know why. I also did the dance, but then what matters is that they've shown us that if we've heard Team Zebra prepare, they're no different. They've also prepared, and they're here to win. Team Zebra, they really have to do something in the next game.
Actually, you can also see the preparation of Team Lion, not just in the gameplay, but in the draft. We've seen Team Lion banning 5 roamers against Team Zebra, so they really prepared. They were okay with getting a roamer that's not a setup that like Proof of the Atlas, the Gacha, or even the Franco. They wanted to go for that Novaria pick, and we all know Antianara, one of the best +4, +5 players here right now in this tournament. So it's not going to be hard if they just continue to rock that Novaria. And I think that deserves a ban.
Yep. On the basis of non-professional players and the amount of points that they've reached, Antianara definitely a player to watch out for. We've seen it from earlier performance. Now, in just a few moments, we are about to witness the second game, but we will be looking at the post-game stats before anything else, together with their faces right now. We should be a lot more familiar by this time, but then, looking at the gold, it already explains so much. You've seen something.
Look, Innocent and Chacha, they've done numerous initiations for the side of Team Lion, but they didn't die even once.
Not once.
Not once.
Not once did they die. It's just the amount of support that Chacha was able to provide using the Angela. On point always in terms of her usage of the ultimate, Heart Guard, and even in the most surprising moments that you wouldn't really expect her to use it. She will just to save or just to ensure that her teammates will be safe. If we would recall that one time where Anjanara was actually in the middle of 4 players of Team Zebra, she was able to flicker out, but then it didn't matter as long as she was able to use her ultimate. And our MVP of the game,
Innocent.
who else could it be?
Who else? I mean, match KDA of 703. Look at that average KDA of 55.56. Look, lock item, not even late game with that Claude. And he's the type of gold laner that doesn't even have to wait for initiations from the XP lane or even the roamer. They know that they have limited capabilities when it comes to crowd control because of that Novaria and that Angela pos 4, pos 5 rolls. But look at the aggression and the mastery of Innocent with this Claude.
I think for this particular game, I think individually, Team Lion, they really were able to shine. There were some players who were actually a little more explosive than the rest in terms of the things that they were able to show in the battlefield, especially when talking about that instance where Hes was able to take on almost 4 or 5 players alone, or even that instance where there were already players from Team Zebra anticipating the VMI coming in from Innocent, but he was still able to go for the Maniac nonetheless. There were so many highlights in this particular game. I'm looking forward to see what else they could show us coming into game number 2.
Yeah, and I actually like what Hes has been doing, you know. He's embraced that role of the XP laner. And despite sacrificing his own life, he really knows his job, which is to disrupt the back line or even set up the front line. But we've seen him going up against 4 members, 1 on 4, but he still secures a kill on the +1 or +2. So that's the dedication and commitment of Hesu when it comes to his role as an XP laner.
I like what you mentioned because it just goes to show that despite him taking on multiple members at once, he doesn't lose sight of what he's actually after. In that messy team fight he engages in, he always looks for that particular player or member he wants to take down, and he does not fail in doing so, which serves as a huge problem right now for Team Zebra. They have to really get the adjustments. They have to somewhat change things up a bit because, as mentioned in the earlier draft of Team Zebra, they might want to open the opportunity for them to actually secure a comfort pick for their roamer, because I think that it might just change things a lot for their side, given that they might just be more comfortable playing a kind of roamer that their roamer is more familiar with. We've mentioned it again and again. We no longer see the Faramis roam as much, and especially after the recent nerf also done to Faramis.
You know, I actually like your point. And it also adds up to the point that the game, 50% of the game is the draft.
The draft.
You know, as soon as the draft starts and ends, that's 50% of the game. So the adjustments, it's not just in-game mechanics, micro mechanics, or even macro mechanics. It's also how you approach the draft. We've seen how Team Lion approached the draft, banning out 5 roamers against Team Zebra. But will Team Lion actually stick to this plan, or will Team Zebra be able to adjust and actually, you know, predict what Team Lion will be doing?
Let's see about that. But first, let's hear from the players themselves. We're throwing into a quick interview. Let's give it to our hosts.
And there you have it. We've seen the game 1 already, and kitang-kita man natin OSX na talagang sobrang solid na pinakita dito ng Team Hesu. And of course, at this moment, oras na para interviewin naman natin sila.
Kanina pa nanonood pa lang ako dun sa backstage, ibang klaseng galawan na yung nakita ko. Hindi pa lang sa kaldag ni Hesu kanina, sa in-game, iba din yung pinakita. Ibang klaseng mga membro dito na nakita natin for today. Kahit ako nagulat din eh.
Yes, that's true. And yun nga, Sir OSX, dito ako sa Team Hesu, and dito naman ako kay Archer Perez. Siyempre, ito, sobrang solid ng nakita natin dito. Na game number 1 talagang, ina-expect mo ba yun, Sir OSX?
Sa draft pa lang kanina, gusto ko tanungin. Ngayon ko lang nakita si Hesu na malupitang alam ko, naka-nerf ngayon or nagbago yung Arlot, di ba? Pero gusto ko tanungin yung Angela din. Kung, di ba? I wasn't expecting the Angela na naka-focusing mark na we rarely see Pero yung din nagbigay paraan din kay kay Innocent. Which is so not innocent. Ano yung what was going through the mind? Who decided to pick that Angela?
Si Sen talaga may gusto nun. Kasi si Sen talaga may gusto nun. Para duo daw sila.
Ano ba to? May mga ka-nice one baby pala yung draft.
Iba. Pero yun nga, di ba, nasagot na nila yun. Pero ikaw, Archer Perez, were you expecting that Angela pick na pinili nila Team Hesu?
Wala sa blueprint namin yun.
Nagulat sila.
Ano yun?
Nagulat sila dun sa ginawa nga.
Nagulat kami dun sa Angela, di namin naasahan yun. Kaya good stuff. Bawi na lang kami.
Bawi.
Hello.
Gulat sila dun sa Angela pick.
Mukhang dito natin makikita sa team ng Zebra na magkakaroon ng event of adjustment. Pero for Team Lion naman, anything to change? Or mukhang okay naman yung formula no? First day pa lang.
Secret.
Okay. Yung mga bagay na yan, syempre secret yan. Bakit mo ba naman sasabihin yung mga strategy mo, di ba? OSX ano ba? Pero yun nga, for the side ng mga Team Archer, 1-0 na. Do you think na makaka-1-1 pa tayo today?
Dinownload na lang namin yung game 1. Alam na namin ba, no? Bawi na kami game 2.
Wala. Na-download na nila, i-execute na lang nila OSX.
Ready na ata. Mukhang ready na ba ata for next game, no?
Really can't wait nga dun sa ating next game. And the winner of this match will automatically get $1,500 right off the bat. Isipin mo, game lang ang ipapanalo mo sa isang best of 3, talagang may 1.5 ka na US dollars pa. Pero ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 tapos na, pero getting on naman sa ating pangalawang game on Zero Casters. Let's go.
And now we're back. I've seen how unexpected, after all, that pick was actually for Team Zebra.
You know, I actually like the interview. Did you hear what Innocent said?
What did they say?
Oh, I wasn't sure if it
I
was
think we need
Innocent
a
or Jesus.
translation. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so Jesus said that the Angela pick was Innocent's plan.
Oh,
Because because Innocent wanted to be with Cha-Cha.
oh. Is that so?
Yeah.
Now we know.
Now we know.
Now we know what Team Lion or Team Zebra has to ban so that they won't be together.
Take away that Angela.
If
Yes.
they don't want to be together, you should take away the Angela. But the question is, would they be sacrificing such a slot for the bans to
Yeah.
take out that hero, which I think is relatively easier to counter as compared to other roamers that might be potentially a greater threat against
Yeah.
their team?
I agree, and I actually think that that's a waste of a slot, as you mentioned, because these teams, Team Lion, they're prepared for those kinds of bans. Like, they're assuming and they're prepared that they can only use one specific hero maybe one time
Yep.
in 2 to 3 games. That's why they have a wide range of hero pools right now, as we've seen a while ago. And I'm actually curious how Team Zebra will adjust depending on the draft of Team Lion. You know, if they still go with the 3 roam bans, will they secure right away a roamer, or will they just let will they focus on different hero picks or different roles right now?
We'll be seeing that right now as we move on to the second draft of this series. Team Zebra versus Team Lion. This time around, they've switched their positions. Team Zebra will go for the first pick, whereas Team Lion will be left to choose for the second pick. And nothing much has changed, really. They're still trying to focus on the roamers in terms of their first banning phase, taking out the Franco, the Kaja, and a respect ban or somewhat for Team Zebra because they immediately take out the Claude for Innocent.
Yeah, respect ban right away. Learn from your mistakes. Team Zebra adjusting from the previous game. But look at Team Lion. They actually banned out Jesus' hero a while ago, which was the Arlot. Mainly because they don't have that first pick. But Team Zebra right now taking the Novaria away from Andy and Aaron.
Literally a deny pick as well as steal from Team Lion. We all know just how much information this particular hero is able to provide for his teammates whenever they are able to pick him up. And aside from that, the amount of damage that you're able to actually deal onto your opponents so long as you actually fill the passive or the stacks to its maximum potential, and it's something that was shown to us again and again by Antianara upon using that Novaria earlier, but Team Lion, they're also going to change things up a bit. Ems earlier on the Fredrin now will hold the Lancelot, which was used by Mark Teasy.
Yeah, they didn't just swap positions in Land of Dawn, they also swapped heroes. Ems, as you mentioned, rocking this Lancelot right now from a utility tank. Let's see how Team Zebra will adjust. Will Mark TZ actually go for a utility tank next, going up against an assassin, or will his fast hands prevail and go assassin against assassin up against Ems?
Actually, recently we've seen how much more prominent assassin junglers or fighters have been as compared to the recent patches wherein there were more tank junglers who were heavily reliant on the Molten Essence or the Antikiras, especially after the recent adjustment, that mini adjustment that was made on those items earlier. But as you've mentioned, there's a possibility, but it might just not be shown to us just yet because they will be prioritizing the Leslie and the Mincetar. But there's something that we forgot to mention for Team Lion.
We've been mentioning that we've stalked Antianara's MLBB account. And if you're like us, who actually knows what his account looks like, you're very familiar with this pick, this Diggy pick. Antianara known for this Diggy pick. Actually, high number of games played with this Diggy, and much importantly, high win rate.
I think this is his best pick or his main hero, if I'm not mistaken. This is the hero that they feel most comfortable using. Regardless if it goes in the mid lane or the roam, there is a possibility that they switch things up a bit because we've seen Chacha Pega earlier using the Angela on the roaming role. But I think for Team Lion, they're actually quite the flexible mid duo. They can actually switch whenever needed. I'm talking about Anchanada and Rose, and there might be a change in this upcoming game. But going back to Team Zebra, right, Rising early pick up onto the Mincetar. They want to counter that Lancelot immediately and other possible heroes that might just show up. There's no Arlot for this game, but it doesn't change the fact that the Lancelot is just able to deal that much stress as well. He's so hard to catch.
You know, they wanted to counter it out that Lancelot, as you mentioned, with that Mincetar, but right now, with the presence of this Diggy, with the Time's Journey, we can see, or we will see, Ems actually free dash a lot of times despite the casting of the King's Calling. So that was a good pick for Team Lion. And look at the respect ban against Mark TZ, banning out two assassins, but Team Zebra, Mark TZ, going right after for the aggression, early game aggression, securing this Mark.
Out the Sicilian instead of considering it as an option, knowing that Burger Kim is on their side, and we all know Burger Kim to be one of the most well-known personalities whose favorite hero is Sicilian. So there might be a possibility that they're considering this Lilia to be placed in a different lane, possibly the AXP lane, if they would actually think about that possibility. But right now, Team Zebra, they are sticking with the Eve again. They already used this pick earlier, as shown in our screen by Burger Kim, and they will be using this once again. They actually are looking to go on for the all-out team fight, if I may say.
Yeah, a lot of crowd control, King's Calling, even the real-world manipulation, and partner it up with the Astral Echo, wherein the effect of that is that the hitboxes of the opposing team hit with an Astral Echo will enlarge. So Team Zebra, if you want to bring them down, they're telling us that we're not going down without a fight, without a clash. We are in this together.
Team Lion, they're looking to get their match point, or they're looking to end this series with a sweep. So they really have to do their best to hold on to the series and extend it to a game number 3. But Team Lion, they're going to complete their lineup with the Esmeralda, not the ideal XP laner for an Eve mid laner. I think this is going to be a very difficult situation in terms of positioning for Burger Kim, and the rest of the members of Team Zebra would not really be that mobile in terms of the fights. So even though we know them to be quite the lineup that wants to go for the all-out team fights, they have to be extra careful with this one if they were to go for that.
Yes, indeed, extra careful. Once again, match point for Team Lion. But as you mentioned a while ago, even if Team Zebra loses the series, they still have one more chance
They do.
in the succeeding series to stay in this tournament, stay in WCG Rivals 3, and maybe have a chance to represent the Philippines against the Indonesian representative in South Korea, Busan.
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 Who wouldn't want that? Really, you are a few matches away
yeah.
from securing that possibility. To get there, just play the game you're passionate about and represent your country. So now we're about to see who might just be the first team to advance, or will the first series extend to a game number 3? As we go on in here, Team Zebra versus Team Lion, currently at a 0-1.
I like Antianara. Rotation of Antianara mirroring what Mark TZ is doing, providing vision for Ems for a faster control on this jungle lane. And right now, Archer not in a good position later on, because we all know the Diggy strat. It's just gonna stay in the gold lane and protect their biggest win condition, which is right now Innocent's Beatrix.
They want to prevent the same situation that happened earlier. It was when Innocent got too much space and became unstoppable eventually. But Martini, can you see this aggression from Team Zebra?
Oh, I hear the venue right now. They like what Mark TZ is doing despite losing game number 1. The aggression of this madness. And now Velka's going right after Ems as well, sending Team Lion on the retreat with the TNC sticker against Ems.
They couldn't risk that. They could not risk that. Mark TZ was already level 4, so the Decimate was ready at any time. They could not risk giving him an early kill that would just result to a snowball, and that is something that's very much not ideal for the side of Team Lion. They really want to prevent that. And looking at the turtle right now, Team Zebra, they definitely have the upper hand.
Yeah, Team Lion's not going to contest because we all know Mark TZ actually stole that orange buff away from Ems. That's why there's a significant level gap between Mark TZ and Ems. But Team Lion answers right back, but it's down on Archer. Perez in the bottom lane. The Diggy strat so far is 1-0. Team Lion gets a counter trade.
They forced that. They forced it, but it was worth it. They were able to take the pickoff onto Archer, and they were able to reduce to 50% the energy shields of his turret. So despite them not being able to secure or contest that turtle, they didn't let the same situation that Team Zebra faced in the earlier game happen to them this time around. They made sure that they had a trade up against Team Zebra, and this might just prove to be quite the close game if we are to base it from what's happening in the early to mid stages.
Yeah, we can see right now Team Z, Astral Echo, but TNC Scholar with the Astral Sphere, and the egg will crack. Mark TZ going right after Chacha Pega with 4 members of Team Zebra, but look at Innocent with that sniper play. Archer Perez not in a good position right now, 0-1, and as a Leslie, we all know your power spike will be in the late game, but if you keep on dying like this, you have to make sure that this game will reach that late game.
Martini, though, he will be able to immune himself out of that situation, but Innocent will be able to take down the first turret of this game. A pretty good start here for both teams.
Look at Velkos.
There's not much to look at in terms of the goal difference, and if I may say, this might just be the battle of the snipers after all, because we have a sniper here for Team Zebra in the form of Scholar, and a sniper for Team Lion in the form of Innocent. We just have to see who will get the better accuracy rate, and right now we have to watch out for what might just happen here in the second turtle fight.
Second turtle up for grabs. Astral Echo will be casted as well, but Velkos going in with the King's Calling. But Atianara clutch times Journey. It's going to be a retreat battle, but it looks like Archer will steal that second turtle away from Team Lion, and now Team Lion desperate to make a play to try and save that turtle dance. Wants to go for the middle lane, but instead he goes for Scholar. They have their own long-range shot, and that's going to be the sniper of Innocent.
For the second time around, Innocent in that zone, they're literally taking sniper after sniper up against the members of Team Zebra. He really wants to show how accurate he is right now on this Matrix, and it's similar to what we've seen during his Claude game. He's still well farmed. Team Zebra, they were not able to stop that.
Innocent right now is such a bad man. First game, game 1 MVP, he showed us what speed looks like with that plot, but right now showing precision with that shotgun play. And now Mark Teasy not even safe in his own jungle. Team Lion with a 4-man rotation. Burger King with Astro. Look at Hesu once again from the backline. Falling Star Moon will connect. And now Antianara, another clutch times journey. Velcos tried to do that hook, but he might have forgot that the times journey was casted.
Antianara always on point in his usage of that times journey. But what more about Innocent? What about Innocent? With his third snipe in a row, using the Renner's apathy, not letting anyone go. But Martini right here, looking to go for the Designate onto Antianara. He will be able to secure that kill. Now Innocent will get his revenge.
Innocent! Not so innocent right now. Rocking a 404 KDA despite the aggression Mark Teasy is showing. And that was an off-cam kill against Antianara, and now the last turtle up for grabs. Team Lion with a better precision, but a while ago we've seen Archer Paris with this Leslie actually stealing away from Team Lion, but it looks like Team Lion safely secures the last turtle.
That was when the fight was a little messy, so both retinue holders weren't able to actually execute nor pull off their on-point retribution. But this time, that there is little to no contest from the side of Team Zebra. They don't have anything to worry about. They are able to secure that turtle all by themselves. And the map for Team Zebra, it's slow.
They stop lane turret, but Mark Teasy smells blood. Sees Ems and Antianara, says, nope, stay back, we are here and we're ready to fight. Don't make mistakes.
You know how we mentioned
Innocent, first time to miss that sniper, but successfully takes down that bottom lane turret. Team Lion sets their eyes on this middle lane turret, and now real world manipulation will be casted. But once again, Antianara rocking that times journey. No casualties for Team Lion, and it looks like they are setting up for this level 1 Lord. But once again, what are you doing, Innocent? This is too much for Team Zebra.
you can't just stand still knowing that there's a sniper waiting to get you killed. And that's what Innocent has been doing for the past few moments here in this game. 9 minutes into this game, but it seems like it's been quite a while because we're seeing almost no turrets left for Team Zebra, and a very quick takedown on the Lord made here by Team Lion.
I love what Team Lion is doing. 4-man rotation. And Hesu, on the other hand, has his own game, has his own world, is not afraid to step up against 3 members of Team Zebra, is just doing his job to zone out and provide a vision and actually extend Team Lion's map control. That's one of the reasons why Team Lion secures this first Lord away from Team Zebra. Not to mention the Diggy's presence. Look at the bunnies. How many bunnies are there right now? I think that's 5.
And if you actually get to encounter all these bunnies at once, do not expect to live to see the next day, because there is quite the damage as well coming in from Antianara right now. Astral Echo already committed. They already know where the members of Team Lion are, but there's a commit onto the King's Calling.
Oh, King's Calling early casted right now, but Velcos will still fall down. Ems on the attack, and now the Lord marching in on the top lane. 4 members for Team Zebra will have to defend this onslaught of an attack, but Hesu once again with a falling star moon going right after Burger King, casting that real world manipulation. And now Innocent says, hi Martese, where are you going? And it looks like Team Lion will be the first team to win a series.
Victory! Just when you thought things were done after seeing a maniac on the claw during the first game, Innocent, he said no. I'm going to end this game with a triple kill, this time using my Beatrix. And that's what he did before securing this entire series. Team Lion now advances, while Team Zebra, they'll have to go down a bit.
They still have a chance though. Team Zebra performed phenomenal. That was a close match despite Team Lion Innocent specifically's onslaught of an attack. But if your Team Tiger, Team Giraffe, you have to be scared. You have to worry a little bit because the performance of Innocent, Hesu, Chacha, and Tianara, every member of Team Lion was just on point. It was perfect, perfectly orchestrated, and it sends a message to the remaining teams that watch out, we're going in big.
Their coordination is a little too scary
Yeah.
for a team that was considerably built or made a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to me like they just met each other weeks ago and that they just practiced playing together for, let's say, how many days since their last time together, which was in Vegan, I think
Yeah.
earlier this June. It was just this June. So much growth already took place in a short amount of time. What more if they were to represent our team or our country? But that is something we might just have to watch out for, because considering their performance right now, I'm sure other teams are looking to prepare well for them as well.
I mean, they should. They should worry. I mean, Innocent's performance, once again, where do you see a Claude going up against 4 members and then even die, securing that maniac, not even leaving the battlefield with a single scratch? I mean, Innocent is such a bad, nasty man. That's why Team Lion secures a 2-0 sweep.
Right now, we are seeing the stats of both of our teams. It's really, the kill score itself is enough to explain to us how dominating this game actually was. There was an attempt from Team Zebra to actually not allow Team Lion to get that snowball any longer. Mark TZ was able to do his job in the early game to actually disrupt the farming here of Ems, but that was not enough. They needed to pull off a more coordinated gameplay in order to do that, and it was something that was eventually shown to us by Team Lion instead, moving on to the mid and late stages of the game. I don't even know if we reached the late stages of that game, because the game actually ended quite immediately, if I were to say, and it seemed to me that Team Lion, they just remained super composed throughout that game, because they knew that they weren't able to secure the first turtle, but that didn't serve as a problem as much. They knew they were able to bully the gold laner, which was Archer, and that they were able to do so much for them to ensure that there won't be much of a discrepancy in terms of gold. And what more can we say, Ilan? Who else could be the second MVP in a row?
Who else but Innocent? I mean, look at that KDA average, KD 100%. I believe that's team fight participation, but match KDA 805. Almost full build in a matter of minutes. That was actually the mid game alone. But of course, there wouldn't be an MVP without his teammates, the unsung heroes, Antianara with a spectacular Diggy play. And of course, Hesu. We can't forget about Hesu, who has his own world. I mean, going up against 4 members of Team Zebra, not minding anything, just really doing his job as the XP laner, providing vision and tanking each and every damage Team Zebra is giving them.
It was a very difficult situation here for Team Zebra. There were multiple attempts to actually counter out the fights. Vel'Koz with his late engages, on-point usage of the King's Calling as well, but immediately negated by the Time's Journey of Antianara. They really reserved that ultimate whenever they only need it. And it's actually surprising to see how aggressive Antianara could be with this Diggy, recalling this particular moment in time where he actually flickered in to use the reverse time onto Archer Parrot. And that was something you wouldn't really expect for a Diggy user, because you would expect a more or a safer playstyle.
Yeah, a more reserved Diggy.
But literally, Antianara on the Diggy flickers in to capture the target.
I remember that. Where do you see a Diggy flickering in against a marksman?
I don't know.
I
Only
mean,
here.
Leslie, true damage mid-game. That's gonna take one hit to bring down that egg, but Antianara, hero mastery on full display. I mean, his trust in his own team, Team Lion, really exemplified. That's why they had the very first 2-0 sweep in a WCG Rival Street tournament right now.
It was a very dominating performance indeed. Right now, I think all of the teams have to watch out for Team Lion and what else they are able to bring us to the table. I know that they will be preparing a lot more, that they won't be contented with what they were able to show. And considering that we only have 2 days to decide who will be the winning team, who will be the flying team here in this tournament, they have to maximize their time together. They have to make sure that each and every moment from this point onwards will be towards their growth, their improvement, especially for those teams who unfortunately have to go down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, and I actually think Team Lions still reserved when it comes to their draft your picks. Of course, you don't want to show all your might, all your strength in the very first series going up against 3 other teams that are actually good. I think we can't say that they're Team Lion right now. I think they're still Cubs.
There are.
They're being reserved. They have something later on. And when they feel that their opponent can actually bring them down, they're going to bring out the big guns. They're going to roar like the lion that they are.
Now that's something that we have to watch out for once again, because if that performance itself wasn't really that much of a roar, and it's just
that was a
Cubs.
meow. Bring it up,
What-
meow.
Oh yeah, that was just a meow. What more if they could actually roar using their actual identity as the Lions? But right now, we're going to hear from them and what they could say about that game. So let's give it up to our hosts.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in WCG Rivals 3 Philippines. And of course, andito ngayon, right on your screen, syempre, ang winning team sa ating game number 1. Let's give it up for Team Hessel! Ito, OSX itong game natin na to, 2-0 already, clean sweep ang pinakita nila. And alam mo ba, nananalo na sila ng $1,500.
Wow.
And just as that, 2-0 na kaagad sa unang araw. Kaya gusto ko itanong sa team na to. Sabi nila kanina sila na yung tahimik lang sa yung mga one-word na reply ni Heso, yung mga
Pero yon, nag-RG kami and then, ayun, fun naman. So here we are today. Ganahin.
I felt that too,
di ba?
I felt that.
So hindi natigil yung bonding after ng vegan. Wow, so tuloy-tuloy.
Ito tulad na pag-usapan natin kanina dito, Heso nung first and second challenge natin, nung vegan, kayo ang nakakuha doon. And right now, mukhang yung winning streak nyo is yung momentum nyo papunta rin dito sa ating tournament. Are you expecting this to happen?
Aba.
Short and sweet. He is expecting na manalo sila sa first game nila. Pero right now, later on, meron pa kayong match, di ba? Ano yung gusto mong sabihin sa mga next mga kalaban mo?
Good luck sa inyo.
Kasi kailangan nyo yan. Ayan. Ako na rin magpapatagdag, pare.
Oo nga eh.
Short and sweet lang, di ba? Ako na magtatagdag.
Good luck kasi kailangan yan. Gawin nyo ng hashtag yan para sure mamaya, no? Para sure. Kasi yung mga man of few words, yan yung mga dapat yung abangan eh. Sino ba yung next nilang kalaban dito, Kuya Vil?
Later on, makikita natin yan kung sino ba talaga ang makakalaban nila. Well, actually, yung mananalo sa next game, yun yung next na makakalaban nga nila dito sa ating tournament right now. Pero once again, isipin mo talagang nanalo sila $1,500, nag-advance na sa ating mga bracket, and later on, may kita natin ang ating next game. Pero we're just gonna have a very, very short break. And after the break, it's gonna be game number 2. Kami nga pala yung mga hosts for today. My name is Phil. That is OSX. Ito nga pala team ni Hess. Congratulations. See you later.
Low, low. Low. Low, low, low. Low, 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 low.
Yeah, bira. Humihina par. Teka lang. Game. Hindi lumalakas tan. Same lang to. Hindi pa rin siya lumalakas. Mahina pa din.
asking.
Hello? Ano, ako basis ko is, ano lang, ito lang. Yung parang, well, siguro, wow, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WCG Rivals 3 Philippines, made possible by World Cyber Games in partnership with NXT Global. Tapos, pakilala ka na, banter-banter, tapos, yung, oh, tapos mamaya pwede na lang isingit yung sponsors, tapos itong sagab.
picture gawin mong background yun.
Selfie. Hindi tayong dalawa. Yan.
Timer lang to eh.
Ha?
Timer lang.
To be good and for you to be there sa championship.
And to be amazing, baka chance yun na rin na maging opa. Pag-utang nyo doon.
Ikaw kasi hindi mo na kailangan ng opa ka na eh, di ba? Kaya talagang opa, di ba? Pero,
Siya nagturo sa akin. Paano maging opa?
syempre, di ba, I mean, dun sa mga nakikita nating matches, sobrang init na, pero this event won't be possible without the help of our sponsors as well. A big shoutouts nga pala sa Smilegate Stove, syempre sa LCS Group, and of course, TikTok.
Our players will also be receiving gift vouchers from Barbecue Chicken. They surely enjoy their celebratory meals after this event. So this tournament is also sanctioned by the Games and Amusement Board.
Yeah, and yung mga iba't ibang tournaments talaga, nandyan ang GAB. Pero if ever you guys are wondering kung sino ba and kung ano ba ang WCG Rivals, WCG Rivals is a series of global influencer match held in diverse countries, featuring the most popular game title in the targeted country and create in-depth storyline for each event. Winners of Indonesia and the Philippines are invited to WCG 2023 in Busan and
Kwento mo naman,
Kwento ko lang. Pagsapit ng gabi, yung mga tier doon, literal na pumapasok sila, hindi sa loob ng room dun,
Delikado yun.
delikado yun. Di ba pagising mo, katabi mo na siya, di ba? Pero hindi. Pagising mo, pagbukas mo ng pinto, literal na nandun like 5 to 6 na deer nagsasama-sama na nakahiga lang sila. I have a picture, I have a video and we're gonna post there on TikTok in the near future. Pero ang sarap ng feeling na you're literally
Marirelieve mo yung childhood mo sa vegan. So tawagin na natin yung mga teams. Simula natin sa Team Giraffe. We have LJ, Pavi, Sarah, Ben Things, and King Kong.
Heartwarming.
Once again, we have Team Giraffe right now. Nakitang-kita naman natin na sobrang init na nga. And parang meron ata silang inaalog. Sir Bobby, ikwento mo na sa amin, ano yung ginagawa mo? Hindi ba delikado yan?
Hindi delikado. Medyo malamig kasi. So, para medyo mag-init din kami, kailangan namin ito.
Okay, hand warmers pala, patingin nga. Ito yung mga, ito yung mga sinashake nila, yung mga hand warmers pala. Kasi nung nakita ko, medyo kinabahan ako di ba? Pero yun nga, sir, okay. Pagbukhang nagpapainit na sila ng kamay. Ito yung pinto.
Ano pala? Yung may exit.
Ito yung exit. Yun. So yun nga, once again, we have Team Giraffe dito ngayon on your screen. Dito na po tayo ngayon. Team Giraffe, here. There we go. Alright, Bentix, mamaya meron tayong interview, kakausapin ka namin. Kasi sabi niya kanina, sabi ni Sir Bentix kanina, sige ngayon na, sabi ni Sir Bentix kanina, Bentix,
Sir Bentings,
dito ko muna, sige na, ngayon na. Sabi ni Bentix kanina, parang handang-handa, nakita-kits na lang daw sa Korea.
Naka-impake na.
May nakabook, may naka-empake.
Formality na lang to. Ginagawa ko.
Tapusin na natin to.
Na isusulat na to, men. Nakasulat na to, di ba? Gagawin na lang. Okay, maraming salamat nga pala sa Team Giraffe Bentings. At grabe sila, no? Talagang mainit na yung mga kamay nila dahil ang susunod na team, we have Team Tiger!
Team Tiger, we have Danica, Fear, Invictum, Goyo, and Yasuo.
Ayan. Ready na talaga pang Korea. May finger heart na, may talagang kaldagan pa. Pero syempre, Invictum, nakita mo yung game kanina, Game 1, Team Heso ang panalo ngayon. Pero if I'm gonna ask you, anong gusto mong sabihin sa kalaban mo? Yung pag narinig nila yung boses mo, manlalamig yung mga kamay nila.
Ang ba, Team Heso?
Hindi, sa kanila. Si kalaban mo, boss. Grabe! Grabe, men! Hindi dinisregard na nila ang Team Giraffe, mga kaibigan. Wala na siyang pakialam dito eh.
Ako nasabi yun kasi automatic upper bracket namin.
Iba. Dinisregard sila, men.
Confidence, preparation, nakalimutan na may nag-iinit din doon sa gilid.
Oo. Ano masasabi mo doon, Bentix?
Luck.
Good luck, kasi kailangan niyo yun. Mainit, maraming salamat nga pala, okay, sa Team Tiger. Over 6? Hindi, no?
Oo nga eh. Di ba preparations eh? Empake, disregard na may kalaban,
Oh.
kalaban yung sarili.
Dinisregard yung
Disregard na
kabila.
pala. Oy, nandito tayo sa WCG ah.
Oo. Pero yun nga, mga kaibigan, syempre, as a sign of sportsmanship, you may now shake each other's hands. Here we go. Okay, pero po tayo mag-shake hands. Ayan. Yung isa, sabi ni Bentings, formality.
Naka-empake na ako.
Naka-impake na.
Ay, may kalaban pa pala.
Aalis na lang sila. Pero ang problema, meron pa silang visa.
Ay!
Kailangan ng visa doon, di ba?
Shoutout po natin ang ating
Shoutout nga pala sa Bureau of Immigration.
kayo na pa bahala sa amin. May
Oh.
i-represent po namin ang buong bansa.
Sino ang ipipredict mong mananalo?
Ako na naman ha, sige. Ngayon napupunta ako dito kina Bentings. Bentings ako. Kailangan
Bentings
mag-predict. Ikaw din.
Dito ako sa kabila. Dito ako sa kabila. So, mainit na mainit yung laban natin ngayon. Andito ang team ni Goyo. Laban ang team ni Bentix at hindi na natin ito patatagalin pa. So, casters, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to WCG Rivals 3 Philippines, made possible by the World Cyber Games in partnership with Mineski Global. Once again, I am Brigida, and together with Ingan, we will be bringing you the action for today's second series against Team Giraffe versus Team Z.
First series, Brigida, was such a display of excellence
True.
for the side of Team Laglagan. Innocent banging 2 MVP straight with that sweep. That's why I'm actually excited for the next series. Will we see a best of 3? A series extended to game number 3, or will this be another sweep?
That is something that's highly possible, given that both teams, based from the interview, they've prepared a lot for
Yeah.
this moment, and it seems like they know each other really well. It's something that you would expect, given that we have professional players from the same team against each other here in the WCG. Again, going back to the previous days, earlier in this June, they had to choose their respective teammates, and they also had the chance to bond together in Vegan a few weeks ago. But looking at the lineup right now, Inan, would you care to tell us the members of Team Giraffe?
Look at Team Giraffe right now, where their 3 most picked heroes. It's actually very diverse. I mean, you wouldn't figure out who's who. Who is XP, who is mid lane, who is Rome, but on the other hand, Team Tiger right now, represented by their team captain, Goyo, Danica, Fear, Invictum, and Yasuo. And I'm really surprised, Fear, top 3 heroes. There's one missing, which he's actually known for.
Again and again, we keep saying that there are quite some unexpected priority or main heroes that are shown below the players each and every time we go over the team lineups. But earlier, we've seen little to no cheese picks, actually. They were drafting their lineups as if we were watching professional tournaments, and it's something that I would expect to see again coming into the second match. What do you think? Do you think that we would see that similar drafting pattern again coming into the second series?
I think for this specific series, like what I mentioned a while ago, Fear is actually top global Thamas player, if I'm not mistaken. So, they will stick to the meta, but then again, these content creators as well as professional players, they have their favorite heroes. like we've seen with Antianara with his Diggy. I mean, so I'm sure that meta picks will be prioritized, but when push comes to shove, I'm not going to be surprised if we see that Thamus in the XP lane or even in the jungle lane for Fear.
And it's something that we might just see in the bans if the opposing team were to consider that they
To kind of warm up their hands and to avoid their hands becoming stiff, especially when you're playing such a very fast-paced game like MLB. You can't have stiff hands or stiff fingers.
and it's something we saw earlier. The games were really fast-paced.
Yeah.
Especially if you let the opposing team do what they want to do early into the game. It's something that Mark TV, together with Team Zebra, attempted to do. They really went for the early invade against Team Lion, but it was unsuccessful. So right now we're looking at some very familiar faces, some really well-known influencers, personalities in the esports scene here in the Philippines, together with some very promising professional players that we are all definitely familiar with if we watch the professional MLBB scene here in the Philippines as well.
Yeah, speaking of familiar faces, do you know that the girl on the left is actually Sarah Gaming, who is actually not just a content creator, but semi-pro MLBB player for the female league. I'm not sure if she went full on pro, but for sure her skills with her experience, you could also consider or already consider her a professional MLBB player.
So that's why Ben Things chose Sarah as part of their team. They knew the experience that she already had and that it could contribute as well to their team as a whole. But we are to look at their current picks right now, Ingan. Team Giraffe. We already know how they were able to prioritize the Kadita together with the Uranus, who's recently been buffed. So we've been seeing him more often than ever in the XP lane, contrary to how we've rarely seen him prior to this patch. And they already took the Moskov as well, whereas on the other hand, Team Tiger, they have the Lapu Lapu, Hayabusa, and the Atlas for their first 3 picks so far.
Right now, Team Giraffe, they've secured, we're actually not yet sure if this Kadita will be on the Team Tiger. I'm not a fan of Atlas and Cavalier competition because of how it contradicts the Fatal Links. When you're an Atlas player like Invictum, you really have to upgrade plays in a way that your team or your opponent won't expect it. So if that Fatal Link connects against 3 or 5 or even 5 members, and the Valir pushes them back, it's gonna be a waste of an ultimate. But I know for a fact that Team Tiger is prepared and experienced for this kind of lineup right now. Team Giraffe, such a meta pick. Kadita and aggressive than a Tiger right now.
We're seeing a number of surprising picks coming into play for the second series right now. So I think this might just be the series to look out for, because who knows what else are they going to show us, especially as we go into the first game of this series. Take it from he himself is an Atlas user in MLBB, so he knows, or he is very much familiar with the playstyle that might be shown to us right now by both teams. And we are to move into the game, or the Land of Dawn. Team Giraffe versus Team Tiger. Who might just get this game?
Brigida, I'm actually pumped up for Team Giraffe because Ben Things still stuck with his role, with this show. So exciting things are about to happen. Speaking of exciting, look at the aggression of Papi and Ben Things going right after Invictum. And now if you're an Atlas user, even if you're such a great Atlas user, it's going to be hard for you to actually set up when you can't control the brushes, when you can't control the zone, and when you can't zone out the opposing roamer. So right now it's going to be a challenge for Team Tiger, specifically Invictum, to push, to zone, and to provide vision for Team Giraffe up against Ben Things' show.
We have to watch out for the rotations that might be done here by both sides, but again, more so by Team Giraffe, as mentioned here, because of the familiarity we know that Ben Things has with this hero. Kikong really surprised King Fear right there, but he was able to dodge it nonetheless. It's Sarah on the extra lane after all.
Bobby standing his own ground. And right now, Ben thinks knows his teammate. Making those recalls. Team Tiger, that was a 2-on-1 trade. And now Goyo, low HP King Kong knows this as well as Lou and Ben thinks, will they make a play? Yasuo, Danicus watches TV on that brush, but look at Lou will be stunned. And now beautiful kick coming in from Ben thinks Yasuo, but no, Ben thinks will still first fall down. Goyo, will he be able to escape this onslaught of attack? But Lou with a breath of the ocean and rough with combination in our team. Giraffe, for some reason, was able to turn that around and secure another turtle.
Punish after punish coming in here from Team Giraffe. But speaking of punish, Lou waited for that.
Yes.
He didn't use the threat of the rough waves up until that moment. He knew he was able to take that double kill. Explaining to us right now why there's a 9-3 kill score in favor of Team Giraffe. And this is something that I think we definitely have to watch out for. Victor very low on HP once again. There's nothing to defend this turret.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised because we would expect Goyo with that Harris to actually dominate early the gold lane up against the Moscow, despite and even in spite of the fact that Invictus is actually there to guide him all throughout. But Papi, for some reason, is holding his ground. But right now, I spoke too soon. Goyo was so good up against.
But King Kong might be looking at it right now. Mega kill! Down kill for King Kong.
That was a
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Really targeting King Fear. They really want to shut down the possible playmaker of Team Tiger if ever Invictum's Atlas fails. But right now, speaking of plays, Team Tiger sets their eyes on the gold lane, but they couldn't spot Papi. Meanwhile, Ben thinks has the vision, has the position. Connected to the Dragon and Invictum has the eye as well. And now Rockwood tries to use the combination again. And the damage force will be casting. That could be a 1-for-1 trade. And the glass is still not done. As Goyo goes after the front line and the back line. But Papi said, oh, you're going too far. And you will be shut down. And King Kong. King Kong with a maniac. 4 kills to 2 deaths. Team Giraffe on a rampage right now. King Kong is the king of the jungle.
King Kong takes the second maniac of this game, following Innocent using the quad earlier. But now it seems to be like, how are all of the teams that are playing right now?
The turtle.
They're so aggressive. They really want to go off, and they're not letting anything end without such a spectacular highlight.
What was stats? That's 6-2-0 with the Harith. I mean, you're going up against Giraffe, but still with that stat line, you have to commend Goyo right now, keeping Team Tiger alive up against
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Members of Team Tiger in the middle lane. Will they get set down towards this? Look at that! But look at Fancy George at the back of the Dragon. Goyo is nowhere to be found, but Yasuo with the beat shadow kill. Will he be able to take down Lou? Yasuo TP out. I mean, shadow out. And now King Kong on a serious one to go. Jungler spots King Fear, and now both teams will disengage.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
How much the lineup of Team Tiger is confident in self-reaction right now more than ever, because we don't get to see how coordinated the two options make their lineup work. In fact, even as having goes for the setup, there is that stunt, that limitation of how much
Red team turret has been destroyed.
and it won't help Team Tiger, but it's right now.
Red team hero has been slain.
Here, whereas Yasuo wants over Papi.
Bobby right now low on HP, but successfully evades potential death. And the distraction actually casted that bravest fighter. For some reason, Sarah with the consecration brings down the Tiger. Now, Norman on the middle turn. Team Tiger, they know how important this middle turn is. But look at the Yasuo position, providing vision as the jungler of Team Tiger. Benitez with the trash talk up against his teammates. Recall after recall. Who will make a play in victim defense?
Turret has been destroyed.
At that fatal hit, but Benitez once again with the wave tracker. That's the combination with Nicholas back to captain. And now Goyo with Captain Force. Still no casualties. Oh no, Papi was falling down. And now King Fear going after Sarah. Executing the fighter. But still,
he was able to do his job of taking out the turrets of Team Tiger one by one, unknowingly, and he didn't really go for any flashy plays as much as his team found him with a 10-0 fortune. But this maybe that's the case. Tiger has Jason is already enough for Team Tiger to be so aggressive and not mind about where they go for the stage, but they have to be extra careful right now because we've been seeing gradual attempts from Team Tiger to actually balance out the situation, and there is a possibility that if they don't get to target Goyo ahead of time, they might just fall.
Blue team hero has been slain. Legendary.
Team Tiger kicks here. Raven Rider corner out. Double kill now coming in from Team Giraffe despite losing for next year. Now Bending going right after teammate, and now Royal will be forced to use that stop up against Bending, but Bending will actually fall down, and this is going to be one King Kong with his second Maniac and first Lord for Team Giraffe.
I think by now we should be very familiar with Blue Team has slain the Lord. Left to go for the objective. On the line of taking down the turret. Whereas look at how King Kong
Red team turret has been destroyed.
Maniac, probably or not probably, for sure the most maniacs already in this day, and it's something that you would not want if you were the Tiger. Unstoppable in this draft. We have to look at how Team Tiger is going to defend this incoming Lord, considering that they're way behind in terms of gold. This is nearly a 10 gold lead in the favor of Team Giraffe, and they have little to no damage left. Only their inhibitors are left.
Hard for Tiger. Victim. A lot of pressure is on this Atlas to turn things around and connect with that damage force of Goyo. But as you mentioned, the gold lead is just too much. 11k. The map control. Tiger only brings Team Tiger down. The Lord is still up. Will be bursting down. 4 on 5. Goyo with damage force. And now Bending connecting with the way of the dragon against Goyo, but Goyo safe and sound. Team Giraffe going back away. It is now being shadow killed from Yasuo.
Red
Who
team base
is
turret
now
has been
down.
destroyed.
3 on 4. Team Tiger lost 1 inhibitor turret, but Javi made sure to bring down another in bottom lane.
And right now we see how crucial it is for Team Giraffe to actually secure the kill on Goyo before going in for a full-on escape. Because Goyo right now, he just might be that hope for Team Tiger. He might be turning around. And it seems like that they won't let him be.
Critical man knocked off with Invicta with counter with his own fatal. Tiger is getting a break. 2 kills to none. The over-aggression of Team Tiger led by Ben Things might be the downfall of this team that has a huge lead, Brigida.
That was a shutdown on King Kong, who already had 15 kills in his hands, and that's something very much desirable for Team Tiger, because they really wanted to shut him down. They really wanted to go for that turnaround of events, and right now Sarah is feeling the damage coming in from both Goyo and Yasuo. Won't be able to evade that, and I feel that right now more than ever we need to see Pavi together with Team Giraffe.
That's really scary. I mean, Uranus, we all know Uranus for his tankiness in the XP lane or even in the roam lane, but Goyo, like 2-3 casts of that skill, nearly bursted down that Uranus, that XP Uranus played by Sarah. That's going to be a lot of bad news for Team Giraffe right now. Their frontliners can easily be bursted down by Team Tiger. This information or this realization makes Invictum be more competitive, be more aware that he can actually set up more plays, because he doesn't have to think about Sarah. He doesn't have to think about Sarah. He doesn't even have to think about win things, and Victim might be able to turn things around.
I know that these players are familiar with one another, and you can actually see some friendly banter.
Has been slain.
Have kill coming in from King Kong onto the jungle. That's the few signal for them to go for the engage.
But they're forgetting about someone. Look at the map. They realize the Moscow, the backdoor king, is not in the map. These guys are looking out here, but they were forced to give up the second Lord. The map pressure of Team Giraffe as well as the
Slain the
shutdown from
Lord.
King Kong. Yasuo nowhere to be found. Contest that second Lord.
Right now, they are left to defend once again. There is a possibility that they can turn things around, but it should be very calculated. Whatever engage they will be forcing in this upcoming Lord push should be very well calculated. They have to be mindful of Goyo's positioning, and they have to be mindful of when they are to cast the crucial skills or ultimates here for Team Tiger, especially the Fatal Links by Invictum, because if Team Giraffe finds an opening for them to commit and go in without any fear of actually being turned around, it might just spell the end for this game and Team Tiger.
Patience is key for both teams. Team Giraffe not to be too aggressive and actually play this Lord the right way. Now Team Tiger, a lot of pressure on them to actually turn things around with the set. Invictum has his eyes on Bentings. Bentings will be forced to use that conceal. Lu low on HP right now, and now the Lord is still up. Yasuo going right after the backline. Lu will be able to whip in that Wiki Shadow kill, as well as Fabi will be forced to use that Wind of Nature, and now Team Tiger successful defense. Bursted down its second Lord, no casualties, and still the inhibitor tower in the middle lane is still up for their team.
Yasuo literally stopped Team Giraffe from playing or making any aggressive plays together with the Lord that they were able to secure. They were able to force Fabi to use his Wind of Nature, and that itself was enough for them to move back a little and disengage, not allowing Team Tiger to put or to be in any difficult situation, but they have to be extra careful because Team Giraffe, they aren't completely out of their base. They really have to watch out for any possible engage because right now, they are just actually waiting for that perfect moment.
It's like a predator stalking its prey. With the way Team Giraffe is actually waiting for the right moment to strike when Team Tiger is vulnerable at the most, when they've expended their skills or where they least expect the clash will happen. Bentings really trying to find that opening, and Team Tiger still standing tall with their inhibitor turret in the middle lane. They're able to manage the push that Team Giraffe is giving them.
They're trying to move as flawlessly as they would want to, but the way of the dragon won't connect in the trajectory that they want to. Now, they lost one major resource, that's the flicker coming in from Bentings. They have to go for this Lord fight.
And actually, they used up the conceal, and they have to wait for the way of the dragon to cool down. And as you mentioned, Team Tiger knows this and are confident enough to contest for this potential last Lord. But in the game, it's going to be third Lord. Sarah doing her job to zone out 4 members, but will face or will experience the wrath of the damage of Team Tiger. King Kong managing the lanes in the middle lane, and for some reason, Team Tiger backs off as Team Giraffe might be able to get this third Lord uncontested.
Sarah is trying to zone all by herself, and she will be successful in doing so, not going down in the hands of even 5 members.
Turn things around. 20 minutes into the game, death timers are high. They can go all mid and push this and end this. That's why Team Giraffe, they have to play this third Lord beautifully. Patience is a virtue. Patience is key. They have to be not too aggressive, but aggressive enough to catch Team Tiger off guard.
Right now, they're trying to make the waves come in simultaneously into the base of Team Tiger. Bentings looking for a target, but Invictum might just go for the engage ahead of time. There goes the breath of the ocean and the engage!
3-man Fatal Links for Invictum. Lord will be bursted down. Flicker out for Danica spots the TV, but look at Papi. Goyo almost got hit there, and now Bentings with a flicker in to secure the win. Team Giraffe wins game number 1.
Victory! They were able to hold on for quite some time. But it does not change the fact that Team Giraffe had their eyes set on this victory, and they were just looking for that timing. They remained patient nonetheless.
Yes. I mean, they had an instance where they were too over-aggressive, specifically Captain Ben Thinks. But again, you will see his experience, his veterancy. He commanded his team to let's wait for the perfect moment to strike, that even if Invicta manages to set us up, three-man set will still be able to take them down and eventually win the game.
We haven't seen nature run its course this time around because Team Tiger is on the losing end. They have to get to game number 2 if they want to prolong the series and actually extend their chances of proceeding in the upper bracket, because if not, if this becomes yet another 2-0 sweep, then they'll have to say goodbye to their 2 lives here in this tournament, and they'll be moving down to the lower bracket. Nobody wants that. You are this close to flying to Busan, Korea,
Yes.
and if you were this close, you would really want to fight it until the very end.
But you know, based on the showing of Team Tiger, I doubt this would be a sweep. I mean, they were down by so much gold early in the game, but for some reason they were able to extend it down to the 20-minute mark. So that shows experience, that shows dedication, and that shows team chemistry. And I believe we're gonna experience the very first Game 3 for today.
We actually saw some glimpses of how their experience were actually at play in that particular game. There were several, be it little decisions that actually impacted how the game was prolonged to this point. Again, mentioned by Ingan, almost more than a 20-minute game, if we're not mistaken. So it was not an easy game to close for Team Giraffe. Despite them actually dominating from the early to mid stages of the game, despite them actually getting to snowball early into the game, they weren't able to close it immediately, as you would expect it to be if it were clearly one-sided or if it were really dominating. And the exception remains that the lineup shown to us by Team Tiger wasn't really that complimenting.
Yeah.
It didn't really complement one another, but then they were still able to pull off a great fight up against Team Giraffe. So if there were some adjustments made in the upcoming game, and they were to maintain, how long could Game 2 or possibly Game 3 become?
I'm pretty sure despite such a huge kill score lead by Team Giraffe, it took them 20 minutes once again to bring down Team Tiger. But looking at the stats right now, for Team Giraffe, Lou with 419 KDA as the mid laner. But look at this guy. I mean, I'd like to highlight the jungler of Team Giraffe. 16 kills. We've experienced 2 maniacs in one game, and that's no other than the king of the jungle in this tournament, King Kong.
I myself was extremely surprised to see 2 consecutive maniacs happen in just one game. And this is the type of Julian game that no one wants to fight against.
Yep.
And we also have to commend the sandbag, Sarah.
Yeah.
That was what you would definitely expect from an XP laner. That's how the job is done.
You know, actually, there was an instance wherein Team Giraffe actually got the last Lord uncontested despite 5 members of Team Tiger present in the Lord pit. She was able to zone 5 members.
5 members.
And I'm actually surprised what made her think that she could do that. Because the previous play was, she was bursted down by Goyo one-on-one. And going up against 5 members, it's going to take a lot of guts to do that and to zone for your team. But once again, the MVP is none other than the team captain, the Rome God, Ben Thinks.
You know it. We saw it coming.
Yeah.
From the very moment that they already chose to rotate to the top lane and establish the early dominance against the opponent's gold laner and even the roamer, it wasn't easy for the Atlas to actually set up in the early game or to actually go aggressively. Victim definitely had a hard time going up against Ben Things. It just goes to show just how much mastery Ben Things already has in this role, and that you might want to pay extra attention to the heroes you would want to give this guy, because if he gets his hands on yet another comfort pick, he definitely knows how to dictate the tempo, to control the game, and to actually establish the momentum for his team.
Team Giraffe actually going back to their lineup, they can afford to be aggressive as early as the early game. I mean, look at that show. Kadita paired up with that Julian. You're not gonna wonder anymore why King Kong was able to have or achieve 2 Maniacs in one game, despite a bit of a tanky side for Team Tiger. I mean, King Fear is the only tanky player. I wouldn't consider Invicto the Atlas as tanky because, it's just a center tank.
Yep. Well, he did go for the tank emblem, the concussive blast to be exact, and it could have possibly contributed to how he was a little more tankier than how usual Atlas heroes would be using the pull yourself together emblem, but it doesn't change the fact that he isn't as tanky and that there was a lack of that tankiness necessary for Team Tiger to actually prolong and sustain the team fights because of the amount of burst damage Team Giraffe had in their hands. The snowball, Julian as well. It was a very difficult game to extend, but they were able to do it. But it was definitely a very difficult game to turn around. So this time they have to make sure, or they have to be extra careful with their drafts coming into this game because for them, this is their do or die.
And I think we're really gonna reach game 1 because game 1, Team Giraffe had the first pick, had the luxury on the first pick. Now it's gonna be Team Giraffe. I mean, it's gonna be Team Tiger. And with the way they showed how to defend, how to extend the game, if they get their comfort picks, I really honestly believe we're gonna see game number 3. But if your Team Giraffe, I mean the momentum, the confidence, and just your veterancy in the form of Team Captain Bentley, you really want to sweep your opponents right now because reverse sweeps are real and are inevitable. So right now we will see how these two teams will adjust. Will they be able to get their comforts, or will Fear even get his own top global Thamas hero pick?
Will they allow him to get it this time around? And we are just moments away from witnessing what is about to happen in the second game of this series. But before anything, we would like to thank once again our official sponsors, Smilegate Stove, the LCS Group, as well as TikTok. WCG Rivals 3 Philippines is partnership with Mineski Global, and this tournament is also officially sanctioned by the Games and Amusement Board. So for all those who just came into our live stream, we are in the second series of the day and about to go into the second game. Earlier we had a 2-0 sweep. Team Lion, in a very dominating fashion, defeated Team Zebra, and right now we are seeing a 1-0 in favor of Team Giraffe up against Team
I think they should all be predators, but right now the Giraffe is the predator stalking the Tiger. Match point for Team Giraffe, but I really think Team Tiger has what it takes to turn things around. Not saying a reverse sweep is ensured, but I'm just saying that a game 3 is likely, especially since Team Tiger is on the first pick side right now. Banning out that Fanny and that Link, they're really respecting King Kong's hero pool, especially with those kinds of assassins, because it's hard to lock down Fanny or even Link if the opposing team will ban out Kaja and Franco.
Well, you really have to respect King Kong given his performance in the earlier game, despite them being behind in terms of gold, and definitely despite his farming being disrupted early into that game. It didn't stop him from actually becoming a threat against Team Tiger, and they knew that there was that possibility that they could turn things around given how King Kong was staying very calm and collected in his use of his hero. So right now, we're seeing the draft very much revolving around the heroes of King Kong, as well as a respect ban on that Kadita shown to us by Lu. We saw how high that mastery as well of Lu in using that Kadita. She was always able to provide the best follow-up possible for any setup, or even
not just
herself.
that, like there were times that Team Giraffe was actually supposed to lose that clash, but Lu, with the perfect Breath of the Ocean Rough Waves combination, managed to turn things around. There was a time where Goyo was about to escape after getting a kill. Lu was there to finish the job and turn things around for Team Giraffe. But look at this one, Brigida. Second time today that an Angela will be locked, and it's going to be on the side of Team Giraffe.
An Angela who recently also received a buff,
Yeah.
and it's showing or proving to be quite the problem, especially once she gets to accompany the necessary heroes during a clash. It's something we saw earlier with the Hesu and Chacha combination. Whenever they went in for the engaged, Chacha was always ready to go for that hard guard, but you reacted with these picks.
Invictum. I know Invictum uses the Scramble, but right now, that's such a good hero to pick to lock down, especially we've seen how King Kong played in the very first game. He was very mobile, he was very fast hands, and with this Scramble pick, it's really going to make King Kong think, wait, can I actually pull this off? Wait, can I actually be this aggressive, knowing that there's a Franco on the opposing team, and it's not just any player, it's Invictum rocking this Franco.
Invictum, who seemed like he wasn't able to play at his fullest potential earlier using the Atlas, might just show us a different version of himself this time around, considering that he got his hands on this Franco, one of the leading roamers in the current meta, and we all know how capable he is of shutting down the necessary heroes and limiting the options here for Team Giraffe, because we wouldn't really want to go for a hero that can be easily caught by the Iron Hook. And even if you do go for a hero that is not that easy to catch, he can't just use the Bloody Hunt to stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, it's really going to be hard. Mostly it depends if, number one, the Iron Hook connects, and two, if the availability of the Flicker. You know, as Franco users, we really rely a lot on the Flicker, especially if you're going up against junglers who are assassins. And especially if your assassin opponent is King Kong with a Hayabusa. So once again, a lot of pressure on Invictum to lock down King Kong. Especially he has the skill set. He has the capabilities. He has the suppress to bring down this Hayabusa.
Yep.
But right now, second banning phase.
Want him to be the problem once again.
Yeah.
He already was the problem earlier when he used the Harriet. There, again, I mentioned he probably was the hope for Team Tiger earlier, because he was starting to show the necessary amount of damage that could show Team Giraffe away, or that could prevent them from actually being too aggressive against Team Tiger. Just because of the amount of damage he was able to already put out, as well as the fact that he is someone you should really respect when it comes to positioning. He wasn't as easy to catch using the Harriet earlier, who had a high amount of mobility. So what more if you were to give him a marksman who has a high damage output and who really relies on positioning in order to dish out that damage output. So right now they've limited the options for Goyo, but then Pavi sticking with the Moskov.
I actually like with Pavi still sticking with the Moscow. A while ago, we've seen Team Tiger being aggressive on the gold lane with Invictum and Goyo holding their ground on the top lane. But Pavi, for some reason, he's so disciplined enough that they couldn't shut him down. They let him farm. That's why he was able to dish out the damage and reach his early power spike early. But right now, Team Tiger, Beatrix and Cecilion, I think they're still going, they still believe that they can actually extend this game and let Danica with the Cecilion reach the amount of stacks that she needs to bring down Team Giraffe. But once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ben thinks with his choke.
This time around, Team Tiger very well recognizes the fact that they do have the capacity to prolong and extend the game. They know and are confident in themselves that if things don't turn out in their favor during the early to mid stages of the game with this kind of composition, so long as they defend, they are able to turn things around more than ever if they get the necessary stacks and the items for both Yasuo and Goyo as well as Danica Suazo. But for Team Giraffe, they should have learned their lesson from the game. They really have to end things immediately for this game if they don't want to have a hard time, because we're looking at an early game centric lineup versus a very late game.
Late game insurance secured for Team Tiger. And I was laughing a while ago because I just realized that the XP lane matchup really brings back memories, because it's going to be the Uranus once again on Sarah's side and the Esmeralda.
I think we're time traveling.
Time traveling without the diggy.
It brings me back. It brings me back. It's been seasons or patches ago since we've last seen this kind of matchup in competitive play. But what we are still seeing is Ben Things disrupting the farming for Goyo, just the way he's been doing it for the past game.
Ben Things was able to force out that retribution from Goyo. I mean, just standing in front of your teammate. Wow, Ben Things, experienced veterancy displayed through his mind games against Team Tiger.
We have to pay extra attention to what the next step is going to be for both Ben Things and Lou, because they're looking to be very aggressive here as the mid-lane duo for Team Giraffe and Team Tiger. You would not want this kind of disruption together with King Kong and the only shadow kill.
Goyo secures, King Kong secures the first kill on Goyo, and now Team Giraffe doesn't want to settle for one kill. Has their eyes set on Invictum, and now Pabi going after backline, but the Sanguine Clause is there to send Team Giraffe away. And Brigida, I actually want to clarify something. Did Goyo and Yasuo switch roles?
I think they did, because earlier Goyo was the gold laner, which is why we assumed that they are still waiting for that particular gold laner pick for him. But it seems to me that right now it's Yasuo on the gold lane using the Beatrix. So indeed, there's been a switch up. If earlier in Team Lion, we've seen Antyanara and both Chacha switch their roles, this time around we're seeing Goyo and Yasuo switch up their roles.
You know, I'm actually amazed. This team was assembled less than a week. Chemistry still not at its full capacity, but they're still able to do a mix and match experiment on their rotations. This is how good these individuals are. Pair them up with anyone, and they can perform at their best. And speaking of best, Sarah showing what she can do, especially with that hard guard, and now with help of King Kong, Invictum will fall down. King running for his life. That's 2 on 1, but Goyo will actually secure a kill on the bottom lane against Pabi, and now double kill for Sarah with that Uranus.
Sarah is doing it once again, and to think we're not yet even in the late game, but they're able to disrupt the Tiger this much. Even King Fear in his own lane, together with Lou, they're becoming such an unstoppable force, and they really are looking to establish their dominance once again.
Sarah right now, unsung hero like Hesu on the XP lane, knows her role, knows what she has to do, and does it perfectly. I mean, Uranus, you're just supposed to zone, soak up the damage, but right now she's at 2-0-0. Half the kills of Team Giraffe came from her. She's doing more than what's expected of this Uranus.
I think they really heard us when we said that it would be a boring matchup, because it's not boring at all. It's an action-packed matchup there up in the XP lane. But right now we have to pay attention to the other sides of the map, because it's not just in the XP lane where there's going to be action likely. Ben Things not stopping at providing the information for his team, and he's literally stopping the Tiger from actually being so aggressive. But once again, that Sarah Lou combo on the top lane together with King Kong gets another kill onto King Fear.
Team Giraffe, they're really sticking with their rotation, wherein they rotate on the XP lane and they just leave Ben Things to protect Bobby, wait for his power spike, especially since that's a Moskov going up against a Beatrix. Beatrix, we all know that that hero has the potential to have an early power spike up against Moskov, but Team Giraffe, they're really giving King Fear a hard time despite having a tanky hero such as this Esmeralda.
We can't see him getting the best possible early game to immediately clear the wave and just rotate and provide assistance to his team, because he's literally being killed multiple times. But Invictum right here might be the next casualty, and he will!
Might be an off-cam kill on the bottom lane, but Pabi successfully flickers out, and now TP's coming in from Bentings, but Sarah might go down against 3 members. There was no hard guard ready to save her life. Now Lou will evade that potential death, but look at Team Giraffe's patience. Speaking of patience, King Kong waited for the right moment to bring down their late game insurance. Danny Caswazo will fall down.
He came from behind. He literally just showed up just when Danica Suazo thought that she was already safe under the turret. And right now, yet another setup coming in from Bentings. The Renner's Apathy won't connect, and the Bloody Hunt was committed as well. Pabi is able to take down Invictum. That's a pick-up.
And I do believe there's a high chance that Bentings will travel to South Korea to represent the Philippines, but they have to secure this win up against Team Tiger. Now Team Giraffe has the better control on this third turtle. King Fear will be shut down by Bentings. That was a beautiful way of the dragon. And now Pabi and King Kong doing the free hit up against the backline. King Kong will he be able to escape? But Lou and Bentings. Oh, look at that flicker coming in from King Fear. Was it worth it though? As Papi, free hit after free hit, and Victim will pick up his fifth death rather. And now Team Giraffe secures the turtle, secures 3 kills to 1 death.
It was not the ideal angle, the way of the dragon, but we can still see Team Giraffe making the most out of that engage. However, that is going to be a shutdown by Yasuo onto Papi here in the bottom lane. And despite all that has happened in that mid lane, Sarah still doing her job, didn't bother to help, but it wasn't really necessary because Team Giraffe was able to win that clash despite the lack of their XP laner, and they were able to show the top lane thanks to Sarah, and none of the Renner's Apathy nor Renner basic attacks connected, but Invicta delivers in.
Oh, flicker in Bloody Hunt combination, but the Heart Guard is there, and that once again is a Uranus soaking up damage, but continuing to regen. But Team Giraffe once again a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team Giraffe, and now Goyo make that 3 triple kill for the king of the jungle.
King Kong on his third major consecutive kill. He's been showing us highlights game after game, and right now we understand why Team Tiger is really respecting his hero pool. Back then, when we were looking at the draft, but the Iron Hook won't connect this time around. Sarah, though, focusing on the turret just before this Lord, this first Lord of the game. The Renner's Apathy finally connects onto Pabi, and we see how high of the damage they're already able to dish out, but we must be careful. King Kong is looking for another kill.
Ooh, looking for an initiation there. King Fear successfully flickers out, and now conceal play for the side of Team Giraffe. The Heart Guard is ready to be casted right on.
But right now, King Kong is already positioning himself here at Team Giraffe. They're the more aggressive ones this time around.
Invictum, first man down. Sarah once again the recipient of the Heart Guard, but Yasuo says, I don't care what you have, I'm still a marksman. And now Bentings with the wave, the dragon connecting once again, but right on time, Danica Swanzo with Sanguine Claws. It's a 2-member down for Team Giraffe, and Team Tiger actually has the opportunity to steal this Lord, but King Kong knows this and bursts down this Lord easily. First Lord will go to Team Giraffe.
Actually taking down the Lord since here in the mid lane, and earlier we've seen with the Sanguine Claws, that beast combo, how much damage she's already started to accumulate, which might just be something that
Dodges that Iron Hook.
what Team Tiger fails to notice right now, however, is that Team Giraffe is doing the exact same thing that they did when they took the first Lord of this